1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We all had that moment when we were surrounded by friends or family, and we get that overwhelming feeling of sadness and introspection. It boggles my mind whenever I try to visualize a person that would embody that feeling. And I think a couple of movies created characters that truly represent that feeling on screen. Why are we so intrigued by these unknown, hurt characters that it seems like they carry so much on their shoulder, but not willing to let out these emotions that play a big part in keeping them interesting if they were present? You probably know that when you want to elicit some sort of emotion out of the viewer, for example crying, depending on the character, showing it is not the most optimum way to approach a scene, but if you repress the urge to cry, it'll seep through you and touch the viewer. And by doing that, you'll allow the viewer to go in and explore the character and find the things that they can find relatable with the character.
I said a lot of terrible things to you.
No.
But I know you never... Maybe you don't want to talk to me.
It's not that.
But let me finish. However, my heart was broken. It's always gonna be broken.
Me and the guy next door know for a fact that this character is one of the most interesting characters in this movie. The tattoos, the twitching, there's so many layers to this character. And what made this character click for me is all these characteristics were just there to set the fundamentals of writing a character's background and purposefully shrouding it with mystery. Not showing the motives of the character is one of the reasons that keeps our eyes stuck to the screen. And as far as I know, Jake Gyllenhaal contributed to the idea of giving the character a tattoo and also the twitching problem that he suffers with. In almost all the scenes where the director showed us how vulnerable and lonely these characters are, regardless of their situation, it somehow felt relatable. Even though we might be surrounded by our loved ones, it still affects us tremendously. Because at some point in our lives, we've been there. A character's loneliness can be justified or mystified. The writer can choose to keep or take the reasons behind a character's loneliness. A lonely character that I've recently felt connected to that shares the same pain and struggle that I've been through is Trevor Resnick, factory worker that suffers from insomnia so severe that his condition has taken its toll on his weight and his mental health. A man that's stuck in the rat race working hard, but in the midst of all of this, he gradually loses his mind, and the same thing applies to Andrew. If you're as passionate and crazy as Andrew, taking the path towards greatness is a lonely road. It'll surely make you feel like you're the only one who's not happy, not fulfilled with whatever God or the universe gave you, simply not enough. These characters are made for us to reflect on, some filled with hatred and others with guilt. Daniel Plainview is a truly lonely character. His resentment and hatred for the people is bigger than anything he's ever built in his career. He values his job as an oil man more than anything. He is eager to be more successful and powerful than other people, and that competitiveness guarantees wealth and power, but with no close people to share that victory with.
Say it. I abandoned my child. Say it louder. Say it louder. I've abandoned my child! I've abandoned my child! I've abandoned my boy!
Whether it's a tiny hut getting blown by a cold breeze at night or a small apartment in a dirty neighborhood, each place grants us a different way of feeling the same type of loneliness. An enormous city like New York, crowded by people, will give the character so much mystery to why the character still feels alone, although the chances of meeting other people is most probable. The character can still be surrounded by people that want to help and pursue the same noble goal, but the character is still alone in that mental asylum, fighting its own inner demons. I can't emphasize more on how vital cinematography is to forging an interesting character, putting that mist effect that slightly hides some certain aspect of the character. Filming these off-frame shots, or booger shots as some animators call it, it's so good. And finding that sweet spot that elicit some sort of emotion, because as you know, cinematography is quite similar to music, and art in general is all about feeling. And if you can find a suitable sets of shots that truly express how the character feel, then I think you've made it. Yeah, it took me a while to rewrite this whole thing. I'm going to come up with new ways to maximize efficiency and at the same time keep the quality in, because that's like a really hard thing to keep for me. And it's all about the feeling. I treat my videos like art, but they're not actually art. They're trash. Click on this video. I forgot. It's just like a weird thing. The more back you go in my channel, you'll find better videos than this, because I keep getting burnt out. So you just pick up this video and you'll have fun. Pick it. Click on this video, please.